my name is Lisa with DIY Ready, and today I'm going to walk you through one of my favorite tutorials, how to make a pillow. The reason I love this tutorial is because it's so convenient for everyday life. I love decorating with pillows. They make a room look beautiful. They're a great way to accessorize, and with this, you can seriously make as many pillows as you want. Each of them will only cost under $10, which is awesome. It saves you so much money because most pillows are at least $30 at the store. So I'm going to show you the supplies and then let's get started. You're going to need fabric, a pillow insert, a measuring tape, scissors, pins, a sewing machine, and an iron. Here we have our pillow insert. Notice how this one is 14 by 14. They will be marked. If not, just measure it and find the same dimension. I want to make sure the fabric is the same size as my pillow, plus 5/8 inch seam allowance on every side. So we do that by doing 14 inches plus 5/8 inch on all the sides. Here's a little secret, 5/8 plus 5/8 is 1 1/4. So all we need to do is add 14 plus 1 1/4. So that is 15 1/4. So I'm just measuring out 15 1/4. Looks like that is gonna be right here. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side because this is a square pillow. If it was a rectangular pillow, I would have to have two different measurements. So 15 1/4. All right, so now I just cut it out. I'm gonna use my fabulous pinking shears. Those are the shears that have these diagonal lines. It actually prevents the fabric from fraying as you cut it. So I'm cutting in a straight line up to the point I marked with my pinking shears. Gonna cut down the other way, cutting out my beautiful pillowcase square. There we go. I'm also gonna cut off this selvage, this white part. You never wanna have that in your sewing. That's mainly there so you can identify the fabric at the fabric store. So there we go. Now that we've cut it out, we just need to pin it in place so it doesn't move around while we sew it. And we're gonna sew the top and side pieces, but we're gonna leave one side open so that our pillow can actually go in. So now I'm actually just pinning this in place, very simple. I'm not pinning along the bottom because I cut on the fold, but I will be sewing along the bottom because I like how the sewn edges look better. All right, now we're ready to sew. All right, so here it's pretty basic. All I'm doing is inserting the fabric into my sewing machine. I'm gonna keep a 5/8 inch seam allowance as we mentioned earlier, and I'm gonna sew the whole thing. Up one side. I'm removing the pins as I go. And once you reach the corner, stop, put your needle in the machine, lift the presser foot up, turn it 90 degrees, put your presser foot back down, and keep sewing along the bottom with a 5/8 inch seam allowance. We do that until we reach the other side. And stop. Put the needle in the machine, lift up the presser foot, turn it 90 degrees, and sew right back up the top. So I continue doing that until the 3 sides are done. Next, we get to clip our corners. I'm going to just snip along the corner so that when you turn them out, there's less fabric in the way, which creates a beautiful point. So all I'm doing here is snipping, basically a 45-degree snip across the top. If you can see this line and this line, I snip it right where they meet at the point. Right where they meet, right there. Boop, boop. Gonna do the same thing to the other side. Snipping across, right where the stitches meet. Once the corners are snipped, our next step is pressing the seams open. This will also help the edge of the fabric look nice and crisp when it's against the pillow. So I take my iron, I slip my seam over it, and iron my seam open just by running up the length of it and making sure that the seam edges fall nice and flat to the side. Ironing all the way up. There we go. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Setting out my fabric, opening up the seam, and ironing up the length. There we go. Nice and easy, nice and crisp. You know I like my crisp corners. So now it's time to actually take our pillow insert and put it into the pillow cover. So I have this in my hands and I'm gonna turn it inside out. Very simple. And I'm gonna poke out the corners with my finger. We just made them, remember? They're gonna be nice and pointy because we cut the edges. Poking them out with my finger here. Just needs a little bit of shoving. If you're having any issues, find a pencil, a scissor, a point turner, anything, and just help them. So they're nice and 90-degree angly. Now just take your pillow and push it in. It should fit perfectly because you measured perfectly. That's what we do. That's in there. Shoving it in. Wiggling it around. All right. Now, looks like you've almost got a really good pillow. All we have left is to finish the top. To do that, this is actually the bottom. To do that, fold under with your fingers, fold all the fabric under. You guessed it, 5/8 inch, and pin. You're gonna have to hand stitch this part just because how else would you sew it with a sewing machine? We don't want the stitching to show. I'm pinning from the outside in. This just kind of makes the whole process better, more even. And this will really help me when I'm hand sewing. Now we're gonna hand stitch our pillow shut with the slip stitch. So begin by putting your needle pretty deep into it so that the knot hides away and will never be seen by the daylight again. Ha ha ha. And then the needle comes up through the top. Goodbye, knot. There we go. Now, I'm just going to sew a slip stitch. Here, come on guys, get in a little closer so you can see this. I'm gonna insert my needle through, so the folded edges kind of created a little tunnel. So I'm putting my needle through that tunnel, as I like to call it, on the right side, pulling it through. And now, let's find the tunnel on the left side, right where it comes out, and pull that through as well. And when I pull, get that guy out of there. When I pull, you'll see, the only thing you see is this little tiny stitch, but really it's helping me shut both of the sides together. So really it's helping me shut both sides together. So through the right side, put that in there, through the fold, through the left side. It's the slip stitch, my friends. This is what I'm gonna do all the way down. It's a little tedious, but it's worth it because you'll never see it again. All right. Now we have a pillow. Look at that. Now this one's a little small, but it'll look great on a chair, or a small couch, or a futon, or outside, or inside, or on a bench. Anywhere you want, because it's your pillow and it's exactly how you created it. Congratulations. My name is Lisa, thanks for watching. And you can check out the step-by-step instructions on our website, DIYready.com, as well as the supply list, and even more awesome tutorials. Show of hands, how many of you have ever been hanging out and your button falls off? And then you're like, oh crap, now I can't wear this shirt. I'm going to show you a very simple way to sew a button back on.